What up, boys, and welcome back to yet another video. So in today's video, I want to discuss player housing. A lot of questions around that. A lot of people want a lot of different things, but I do think it's important that Blizzard gets like feedback from the community. Otherwise, they're gonna end up making something that nobody really asked for, right? So that's what we're gonna discuss in today's video. Before we do so, though, massive thank you for all the support recently on the VIP Discord. It's pretty much like a Patreon where you support me as a content creator. In return, you get invited to this Discord server together with a bunch of other fellow gold makers, and you get exclusive content. You get to watch all my YouTube videos before they go public on YouTube. You also get exclusive gold tips, multiple different spreadsheets for gold making, investments, and much, much more. So if you're one of many people that already has the 0 to 10 million gold guide and you find that of value, you're most definitely going to enjoy your stay on the VIP Discord as well. So you'll find both of those linked down below in the description. But if you're planning on picking up the 0 to 10 million gold guide, don't forget to use the discount code STUDENT for 50% off. So player housing is something that people have talked about for ages now, right? And Blizzard teased it. We all know it's coming. We don't know anything about what it's going to be like, right? So people have a lot of questions and a lot of ideas. There's just great forum posts called Player Housing Ideas where people are sharing their ideas for player housing. And I like the concept that it is important to get our ideas out to Blizzard as early as possible so they will have enough time to implement them if they think there's good ideas. And there is a lot of good ideas in this thread. Like there's things that people recommended or want that I never really even knew that I wanted, besides from stuff like a houseboat. But my idea of player housing and what I want it to be is going to be very different to a lot of these other people, a lot of you guys watching these videos. Like I don't really give a shit about bookshelves and libraries where you can place those kind of items. Like some people do. I get that, right? But in today's video, I want to talk a little bit about what I would want in player housing if I had a say, which I obviously don't. But if I did, now obviously I do think economy is a big part of an MMO, and since that I do gold making content, I'm always thinking about like the gold aspect of it and the economy. So naturally, I do think that WoW with their player housing is a great way as to sink gold, and every MMO needs gold sinks. Otherwise, it leads to massive inflation, and that's really really bad. So I want, if there's any other MMO that has player housing, and there's a lot of them, uh, I'm leaning more towards Final Fantasy, because Final Fantasy, first of all, like it's a good gold sink to build out like the plots on your player housing. The bigger you want, the bigger plot to build your house on, the more expensive it's gonna be. The size of the house as well varies. The bigger, obviously, the more gold or Jill it's gonna cost you to make it. But what's makes it more interesting for Final Fantasy is that you can craft like 1,000+ different items for your house. And that concept to me is absolutely amazing in so many ways. Because, first of all, you have so many people that want like different curtains and couches and carpets and whatever it is, right? So you have those people. You have the collectors, because they would probably be tied up to achievements. Collect 50 carpets for your player housing, right? Or stools, tables, whatever it might be. So you're pleasing everyone due to the visuals. They get to deck out their house the way that they want to. You have the collectors that has a bunch of new stuff to collect. You have like the gold makers like myself who would craft all of these things and or farm the materials in order to be able to craft these kind of things. And then at the same time, it's a great way to implement it as a gold sink, because even though you could go out and farm the materials, you would obviously like a blacksmith could make nails in order to craft like a stool or a table and so on, and tailors would be able to craft the thread or whatever, or the actual curtains. But there should be, similar to the Terra 3 transmog that we got with Nax Ramas in patch 10.17, there should be vendor materials that just costs a decent amount of raw gold, so that when you had the guy crafting the item and selling it on the auction house, the only gold sink wouldn't just be the 5% auction house fee, but it would also be gold sink in form of vendor materials. I think that is a great way to do it. So from a gold making perspective, I want to be able to craft shit for the house, like anything you can think of. And that asks the question, like, how would you do that? Are they going to make a completely different profession to craft these sort of things? Or is there just going to be like a more natural approach to it where like a blacksmithing would be able to make blacksmithing-ish items and materials needed to craft certain items, and then you would have like a tailor being able to craft like everything from carpets to curtains to like bed sheets or whatever it would be. Uh, and like all the different professions, like if you had jewel crafting, you'll be able to craft like a bunch of different mirrors as well, right? And ornaments and whatnot. So I think that's the most likely way that Blizzard would take if they were able to do it. I also hope that, similar to profession achievements that we also got recently, that is going to be player housing achievement, which would be like fill up your player housing with X amount of items, right? I also hope, and I do think that's what kind of was kind of teased. I hope that feat of strengths and certain achievements would be able to like hang on your wall inside your player housing. I think that's really cool. Blizzard already teased the Batra tilt. If you guys didn't see that, the sword that you get from the Batra tilt. So that's something that people have already speculated into investing. But completing the question, Batra tilt is going to leave you with a sword that was hanging on the wall inside the tease that Blizzard showed us, the short clip of it. So stuff like that, right? I really hope there's going to be big collectibles like that, and I hope they add more collectibles of like really nostalgic items or one of a kind items, so that it would make sense to farm. Like Varret was a Shadowlands unique weapon. Like if you have the Varret in your wardrobe, you'd be able to hang that up on your wall, right? Or if you have the Blackrock Bulwark from WoD, you'd be able to hang that up on your wall. Like stuff like that will be really badass. And then outside of gold making, I also want to be able to place my house in whichever zone I want it in. I want people to be able to face into my home. So if my home was an elven forest, obviously nobody but myself would be able to see it. But then you could invite people similar to Garrison, and they would face in and be able to view your home. So I do hope that they add land in every single zone. Well, if not everyone, then most zones. I understand that they might have to start somewhere, but I do want to be able to buy like a plot in whatever zone I want it. And I don't want it to be like garrisons in WoD, where it was in this forest area. So like every single garrison looked pretty much the same, right? I also want to have stables outside where you can have your favorite mounts at display. So if you have some really cool mounts that you want to show off and leave at the stables outside, you could do that. Maybe even something cool for battle pets that you could leave in like a kind of like your backyard or something. Your favorite battle pets could be walking around in the yard. Also tied achievements to that, like have every single whelpling in the game out in your yard, right? So me as a goal maker could go and farm whelplings. They would obviously sell for a premium with something like that into the game. But there's so many good ideas being thrown around. Obviously, so many bad ideas too. Don't get me wrong. But there's just so many things that could do with it. And knowing Blizzard, they're not going to be able to do even half of this, the good ideas that's being suggested on a forum post like this. So I'm very, very interested in hearing it from you guys as well, especially since a lot of the people watching my videos are also interested in the economy of the game and gold making in general. So what kind of things do you guys want to see when player housing arrives? Please let me know down below in the comment section. That was pretty much it. Super excited to see what they actually end up doing with player housing, and hopefully it's not gonna be just a big flop when it's something that we have waited for and asked for so long. But subscribe for more videos like this one. Don't forget to check out the 0 to 10 million gold guide together with the VIP Discord, both linked in the description. And I will see you all back in at tomorrow's video. But until then, bye bye.